What up, YouTube? It's your boy JKG Brennan. We are back here on Diablo 4. This is some random footage from my weekend playing the closed pre-order beta. As we all know, the full open beta is going to be this coming weekend. I just kind of want to give my thoughts on D4 in general and kind of go from there. So let's get into it. All right, so here we are, again, just random footage playing. We're not really getting too detailed into like builds or anything like that. But in general, my overall feelings are good. I know there's news of the impending potential play to win with the Palladium, the data miner RPG. Had put out on Twitter showing some potential Palladium packs that are going to be being sold. No actual monetary value attached to those that we know of just yet, to my knowledge. I'm not going to comment on that just because it's too early for me to know, and I don't know enough on enough of the information on it to make an informed decision whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. If it is just an in-game currency that we can farm somehow, then I have no problem with it. If it's only for if it's going to be for cosmetic packs, if it's going to be for something that's going to be a competitive advantage in PvP, then I think it's probably going to be a bad thing and not going to be very well received. If it's something that's going to help us in PvE, for example, just extra stash tabs, things like that, I personally wouldn't have a whole big problem with that. If it's something we can farm, even at a slow rate compared to how fast you can purchase it, I don't really have a big problem with that. Off rip. Obviously, if there's bad implementation, then bad implementation is going to happen. As far as the actual beta itself goes, I had a good time. The first day, on Friday, I had to work, so I got a very late start. All my friends were, 7-8 hours into playing the game. They were experiencing those really long queues. I've seen screenshots of some people that were like at 118 minutes on their queue, and they still didn't get in the game on time. That's rough. By the time I came online around, I think after I clocked out of work, got home, I got food and everything, I think it was somewhere around 8 p.m. Pacific time, I had like a 20-minute queue, which wasn't bad. And once the 20-minute queue was up, I got right in, was able to make my barb. I was pleasantly surprised. I liked the character model customization screens. I thought there was quite a bit of customization you could do. So I really enjoyed that. Played around with that, making my character. Played around with that probably a little bit longer than I should have, to be honest. Once I got in, I didn't watch any videos, didn't watch anybody's live streams outside of just having it on in the background for ambient noise. So I didn't really know anything going into it. I just kind of ran around doing the story mode. Doing that and kind of just going through and unlocking as many different skills for the barbarian as I could. So all very low level. I wasn't interested in trying to mid-max, trying to see which skill was going to be the best. I figured that there's plenty of time for that. I just wanted to try to get familiar with the movement and everything like that, because I am using a controller on PC. It is cross-play compatible, so all of our friends, if we're on PC but we have friends that are on PlayStation and Xbox, they're going to be able to play with us. That's going to be absolutely massive, in my opinion. I think that's going to do a lot for the game's popularity, just because PC gamers, there is the the PC master race, if you will, and everybody likes to look down on console gamers, but I come from console games. There's nothing wrong with being a console gamer, and the more games that we can play that are cross compatible, I think is going to be a really good thing just for building a community. I don't think Diablo necessarily is a game that had a small community before. I think Diablo is a pretty well established game, being the 4th iteration, and tons of people have played it. People that have never played it have heard of it. So I don't think that's really a big issue for Diablo 4 going forward. So the cross compatibility is going to be really cool for me, because I do have one of my best friends is an Xbox gamer. So I'm trying to talk him into to picking up Diablo 4 when it comes out. Maybe he'll get the beta this weekend, and we can try to maybe get a little bit of playtime in. Haven't heard back from him yet, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. The Barbarian in general, leveling was really slow. I got my Barbarian to like level 23, level 24 on Saturday, the second day of the beta. Literally was just playing by myself, cruising around, not really, partying up with anybody, just kind of running around doing world events, doing the story mode primarily. And, it was a slog. So I don't recommend that. That's not going to be a way to level up going forward when the game full launches and stuff like that, when you're trying to get leveled as quick as possible. I think there's much better ways to do that. We did find a really good way to do that on Sunday. We'll tease that for a video and an article over with my friends over on Aftershock United's website. But I think they're working on an article on that, so I don't want to spoil that. But yeah, it's really cool to kind of see that the different aspects. Just cruising around solo, running into other players doing similar things and stuff like that, stopping in a world event. If you're cruising by and somebody comes and helps you, it doesn't really mess up I didn't notice it messing up my XP or anything like that. And so, if you're cruising by and you see somebody, having a little trouble with one of these world events, just hop on in, help them out. And you're going to both get those chests. You're going to both get those potential legendaries. And the legendaries are massive in Diablo 4 for your progression on your account. So definitely you can do that. You can maybe make some friends that way that you never would have met before. And that's a really cool thing in my book. The other thing that I did is I branched out away from a barbarian for the first time in any of the Diablo games. I built a sorcerer on Sunday, and because I was just kind of curious to see. I was hearing about everybody, all my friends playing a sorcerer, saying, "Hey, this class is kind of busted in the beta. It's super good for farming and everything." So went ahead and built a sorcerer out, and had a little fun with that. We were able to find a way to like I said, to farm XP and legendaries really efficiently. I started out with the group that I was playing with on that day, on Sunday night, at level 6, and in about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of gameplay with a full 4-person party, we were able to hit rough. I think I stopped with that group. We called it a night at level 20 in just about 2 hours of gameplay with the full party. One of my partners that was in the party was actually full legendaries by the time we were done. I had bad luck on my drops. I only had a couple legendaries, but the other guys in the party, they were getting dropped left and right. I could hear in comms, on Discord, in the call, it seemed like every other mob that we were elite mob that we were killing, I was hearing, got a Lego. And I'm just like, I'm sitting here like, holy crap, when am I gonna get mine? But I know that's just RNG as far as how it drops and stuff like that, so that's not a big deal. But just knowing the fact that there is that potential to drop legendaries and gain massive amounts of XP in a short amount of time is really good, and really in general it's really promising for the full release when it comes around in June. As far as those are the only 2 classes I played, by the way. I made my barb and I made my sorcerer. Both, I think I left off at right around 20, on the sorcerer, and I think around 22 or 23 on the barb. this coming weekend on the full open beta. I plan on making a druid first thing. I'm really interested to kind of see the gameplay style with the druid. Uh, the character model itself looks really fun to play. And I really just kind of want to go in and see what that's all about. I'm not real interested in playing as a necro or a rogue, which I believe the rogue is similar to a demon hunter in previous Diablo 3 and Diablo Immortal. I'm not real interested in that style of gameplay. I'm definitely much more of a, get a bigger hammer. We are Barb gang for a reason around here. However, that being said, I think my favorite gameplay was actually as a sorcerer. Sorcerer was just fun. It was satisfying. Just dropping hydras, putting firewalls out, throwing fireballs at enemies. Where the barb definitely had some interesting things. I think there's a lot there with the barb. As far as the Thorns build is looking really promising with damage over time with the bleeds, and the lunging strike seems like kind of an interesting base attack to kind of punch above your weight, so to speak, on some more difficult stuff where you kind of need to keep your distance. You can actually kind of keep your distance a little bit with that kind of ranged strike. The frenzy is definitely really satisfying. Overall, the game feels satisfying on controller. I don't know mouse and keyboard just because that's just not how I play the game this weekend. But on controller, everything, the movement felt good. Outside of lag stutters and things like that, it is a beta. Beta servers are always going to be pretty much garbage like that. This weekend, with being a full open beta, is probably going to be a little worse on the lag unless they miraculously add more servers to help out with that. The biggest gripe I have with the controller so far is accepting party invites. And say if you're in a party and you're running dungeons and stuff like that, when you leave the dungeon and you go to reset the dungeon, everybody has to vote yes to reset the dungeons. On a controller, it tells you to push a certain way on your D-pad. You go to push that and it doesn't register it at all. It just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. If you don't catch it, you're gonna miss that vote and everybody's gonna get mad at you. So you have to kind of grab your mouse and actually physically go mouse over and accept the party invite or accept the reset dungeon request. So that's the biggest gripe I have. The only other issue I really had at all with the controller was you kind of get locked into animations. So as a barb, especially when you're punching above your weight and you have a big mob built up around you, 20, 30 enemies circling you, and you're just trying to spam your attacks to get out of there, and maybe try to spam your flash step to get out of there a little bit and escape. You kind of get locked into animations, and then if you have to hurry up and heal, you're still going to be your character model is still going to actually spam one or two attacks before the heal is going to register, which is not the greatest thing. I died quite a bit the first day when I was trying to figure out the timing on how to spam a couple attacks, spam the movement, get out of there a little bit, then heal and stuff like that. You got to try to learn how to at least I had to try to learn how to kind of heal in the middle of actually spamming attacks and stuff like that, so it would break that animation for me if I was in a tough spot like that. So it's just I would like to see it a little bit more responsive. Maybe heal could maybe break the attack animations or the movement animations. That would be something that I would love to see. I don't anticipate that being a thing at all. However, if the devs do happen to see this, please let something like that happen, because it would be nice. Like I said, the biggest gripe is literally just trying to accept party invites or the reset dungeons. You have to grab your mouse and click over on your mouse. Other than that, controller was really smooth, really seamless. It was a lot better than controller on Diablo Immortal at launch. On Diablo Immortal, if you guys are not familiar with it, me being a Diablo Immortal player from launch, controller was bad. Xbox controller was virtually unusable, and PlayStation controllers were actually the way to go. So I had to like literally buy a PlayStation 5 controller to connect to my PC so I could actually play on controller, just because at that time I was not interested in even trying mouse and keyboard. Diablo 4 definitely feels a lot more intuitive with mouse or with controller. So I was really overall pleasantly surprised with that. I was expecting a lot more bugs with it than there actually were. I think that's all I have for this video, guys. I will start getting into more detailed information, you know, how to farm, builds, you know, for both the barbarian and the wizard. I'm sorry, the sorcerer, respectively, and you know, just different tactics. I will start getting into those a little bit more. We'll try to go through and chop down some of the footage I have. I think I have about 8 to 10 hours of footage from this weekend. I'll probably get about 8 to 10 more hours of footage from this coming weekend, but we'll try to chop that up and try to get a little bit more detailed information after this one, in anticipation for the full release upcoming in June. Till then, guys, I want to say thank you for the support on all of the videos on the channel. You guys are amazing. If you like the videos that I do around here, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.